Alright, let's do a bouncing box. So for bouncing box, we just need to set up our floor like this, and then a subject which is a cube, which have in the modifier here, which is a 15 mm 15 mm by 15 mm. Alright, so we're going to make the box jump like this. Okay, now if you look carefully, the pivot is actually down here, which is good. It will help us to kind of animate the scale. If I scale it up and see like that, it will start from the bottom here. Okay, so let's start with the animation. Okay, first we need to set the time configuration. Okay, we're going to set to NTSC 30 frames. Frames, yes, here. Real time, yes. Speed, real time 1 time speed. Start frame 60. Maybe we need 100 frames for this, so we're going to put 100 here. Okay, and that's it. We're going to hit OK. Right, let's just check that again. Okay, yeah, just leave it as default here. Okay, so let's start. So how to do the animation is, first you need to apply another principle of animation, which is the pose to pose keyframes. Okay, pose to pose, which means you are basically blocking out the animation. Just do a rough stage of the animation, and then we going to make the animation become more better and better. So let's say this is from the side, this is the cube, and then the cube jump, and then lens again, and then the cube from here to here. Alright, so it might look easy, okay, but if you want to do like a cartoony kind of box, we need to add like a squashed and a stretch. Okay, the original shape is like this, but it will be like squash and then stretch effect. So which means it might squashed, and here it will be like stretched, and then stretch here, and up. When it reach here, it become normal. Okay, this one all have the squashed and the squash and stretch. Okay, so you're going to make this more lively here. Right, so let's start with frame 5, and let's start to turn on the auto key, and then hit the K to start the animation. And then we are going to update, just leave it as before. So this is the default, and then we're going to go like maybe, okay, you can click here, this one here, like 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4 frames. We're going to hit the K, okay, to update the full or transformation, which is clicking like this icon here. And what this pose will be is the object will start to squashed. Okay, it's gonna like we're gonna scale it bigger in the middle, and then we're going to squeeze on the z-axis down. Okay, so that's what happened. It's gonna squashed, and then it's going to jump back up. Right, squashed, and then let's bring this we're not gonna make it like put it up here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna skip a bit, like this is getting ready to bounce. We're gonna add, let's say one bounce is like 15 frames, so 15 plus 19, let's open the calculator. 15 plus 19, which is 24 frames. So we're going to skip to 24, which is the distance between this and this is 15 frames, and then we're going to hit the K. Alright, and then for this one we're going to update the position is in the middle here. Okay, so it's actually just sliding first at this point, right? It's sliding. Okay, now we're going to add another 15 frames. So open back your calculator. 24 plus 15 is 39. So we're going to move to 39 and hit the K, and we're going to make it end at the last bounce here. So it's just going to be a sliding animation for the first the first pass of animation here. Okay, alright, now we're going to move back, and we're going to start adding that. So we have done this, and now then we have done that the object stop here and the object stop here, but we haven't done this part here. So we need to do the mid-air. So we go halfway for 15 frames, about half from one to another, and then we're going to hit the K to put all the keyframes, and here we're going to lift our object up. Okay, and I'm just going to right click on the scale here. Okay, so what I do is I want it to get back to its original size. So you see, if I move it back here, you will see the value of original size is 100 for x, y and z. X, y and z is all 100. So when I squash it here, this is the data, and then on mid-air here I want it to be 100 back again. So I just type in 100. See, now I get the original size. So then you see, like, it jumps, it go back to the original size on mid-air, and then it lands and squashed. And then now we're going to make another one like just now. I'm going to hit the K. I'm going to make it go up, and then I can change the just make sure you use the, you see the value here change when you switch to rotation, move, scale, right? So for the scale, I want to make it back to 100. Okay, scale 100. Okay, so scale 100. Alright, so now I got the box to jump like that and like that. So I play. Okay, so at this point, before we refine the animation more further, I'm going to analyze and see the timing. Do I need to adjust the spacing, or is it just enough? When I hit play, okay, like that. Okay, I think the speed is quite okay already. It has that quite an okay speed. Alright, so let's go back here and see what we can further improve. Okay, so here I'm going to add the stretch, right? The stretch here, 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 and here. There'll be 4 stretch. So here, I'll go somewhere in the middle here. So I am going to set it back to its original scale, 200, 200, and 200. Enter. And then I'm going to make everything smaller, and then just push the Z higher. Because when you pull like a dough, right? Like if you have a dough, if you stretch it, what happens? It becomes longer, but it becomes skinny like this. If you squash it, it becomes like that. It become wider, it expand wider. Okay, this one it becomes thinner on the width. So okay, I've done this, and now I'm going to rotate, use rotation and rotate on where it is going. So I have it like that, see that? Okay, and then this one I will can actually just copy this, see that, because I didn't hit the K. If you don't want to do that, just never mind, just repeat the same process. Just scale 100 by 100 by 100. Okay, make everything smaller and just pull in the Z and then just rotate like to the back. So then we have, it goes like this and then it lands. See that? It lands. So now repeat the same thing again, adding from here this keyframe and this keyframe for the stretch. Okay, so I'm going to change back to my scale and then put it back to 100. And make everything smaller, so maybe around 77 or 78. Just squash this longer. If you squash it longer here, it will be more slapstick and crazy. But I don't want to over exaggerate. So this one is actually rotating this way because it's going that way. And then here, let's put that to 100 by 100 again by 100 again. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a rotation. I'm gonna undo that mistake. Scale. Make sure you scale. Put 100. Put 100. Put 100. Okay. Make sure you scale. Then make this smaller and stretch this, and then just rotate to the back, and now we have the animation like that. So when you play, okay, now when I look at it, it is kind of fast. I want to make the whole animation slower a little bit, so I'm going to select the box and just select all the keyframe here, and then just pull here the selector here, the range selector. Just give it a bit more space between them, and let's play. Alright, now that looks better actually now, but it's not finished yet, because when it lands, it needs to go back to its original state. So what I'm going to do is, after it lands, I'm going to go like 5 frames, 1 2 3 4 5, hit the K, and I'm going to go back to scale, put it to 100 by 100 is original state, but I'm going to make this smaller and stretch here. So it's actually like squash and then stretch, and then only 4 frame after that, 1 2 3 4, hit the K, then only it will return back to normal state, you know, like a jello lah, like jelly lah, huh? Okay, let's see how it looks like. Play that. Okay, alright, so that is some basic of animation to make it more dynamic. Okay, you can turn off the auto key now if you're done with animation. Okay, now remember, see, if I have my auto key turned off, if I move the object, you will notice the animation takes place on that side because I have my auto key turned off. So see if I just transfer it somewhere here, the animation starts over there. So something to be mindful of. All right. Okay, so I have my animation done, and then it's time to add a animated camera. So I'm going to go to here and then go to the camera and then choose the standard camera and then choose free. Let's click down there. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate the camera, alright, like that. And now I'm going to jump into the camera view. So change to camera 1 and shift F to see the framing. Okay, then you go to the render setup over here, or F10. We are going to go to the output size. Okay, make sure it's this 1280 by 720. This is half HD video. Okay, that's it, just to make sure. Okay, now we are going to render a preview. We're not going to render the actual animation, we're going to render the preview, but this is a bit too zoom in. I want to choose the dolly here, and while I'm in the camera 1, I can use the dolly here to dolly back, to reverse back basically. Okay, so like that. Okay, so I can also change to a 2 view here, so that I want the front here to be my camera view. Okay, hit the F3 and shift F. Now the top, I want it to be my perspective view, F3. Now I can animate the camera. Okay, turn the auto key back on, and let's say I want to animate the camera follow the cube. Okay, so you also try to do this. So first I'm gonna make it move. Wait, I'm gonna hit the K, right, and then we're gonna move ahead of time, where maybe at frame 55 we're gonna update the camera position here. I'm gonna move it here, and let's say I want it to be a bit more daring. Instead of, I'm gonna hit K. So okay, let's just play first. Just make sure you have this viewport selected, and then you hit play. Okay, that's fine, but let's say I want it to be more daring. I want the camera to be, let's say on here, I want to use the camera view here and navigate, just select the camera view, and I'm going to use this hand icon here, okay, which is a pan camera. I'm going to use the middle mouse button just to adjust my view. Alright, so I'm gonna frame it like this. Okay, as you can see in the perspective view, see the camera change the position here. Right, so when I play, you will see it's actually not just panning, tracking to the right, it is also moving to this position. Alright, that's a two way you can move the camera. Alright, so now this is a better, more dynamic animation, kind of dynamic camera animation movement. Okay, you see, like that. Okay, so that's how you animate the camera, just like the 3D object. Just put the keyframe and animate. Now I'm going to turn off the auto key, and let's render the preview. Okay, so here I've just now I actually is from the standard, I changed to high quality, and then I make Alt W for the camera view to be the biggest maximized view. Okay, and I want to render the preview. So to render a preview of this animation in a video format, alright, we are going to you're not going to learn how to render the final animation yet. You're going to learn that on the next class. So in this one, you're going to render the preview first. It's just going to capture what you see in the viewport here. Okay, so high quality is on. This is the camera view, and then go to tools, and then go to screen capture, create preview animation, okay, or shift V. Alright, so let's start from the top. If you choose active time segment, it will render from 0 to 100, but I don't want to render the extra frame here, so I just want to choose custom range 0 to 80. Okay, and then I can check the light here, geometry, lights, and all the other things. Just leave it as it is. Frame playback, yes, 30 frames per second. We did set our frame per second to 30 just now. And then the image size, we gotta choose 100%, so it's gonna render the full 1280 times 720 resolution of this size. Okay, and then we're gonna move down here, preview presets. Okay, you can choose the high quality because we want it to have the shadow. Okay, let's leave it to default shading. Image quality, alright, let's see, we can leave it to 50 if you want. Okay, if you want better, put it to 100. It will look nicer a bit more. Alright, and next part is the file output, so where we want the video to be saved. So click file. So yeah, I'm going to save on my music. Okay, so my music folder. Alright, and let's say I'm going to name it, okay, put your name, let's say Muhammad Alif or something, and then underscore animation exercise. Alright, and then choose AVI. Okay, AVI, and then the setup here is very important. You click here, then it will enable here, so you click and then choose MPEG compressor. Always use MPEG compressor. Make sure the frame is set to 100, the best quality. Okay, and then hit OK. That's really important for you to do it. Alright, so don't choose the default DV video. This will give you not the exact 1280 times 720 resolution. So choose the MPEG compressor, high quality, hit OK, and that's it. Hit save. Okay, this one I already have it, so I'm gonna overwrite the video. Alright, so we set the path and where to save and the file name, and then you can also, yeah, the default here is play when done. When it's done rendering the preview, it's going to automatically play the video. So I hit create. So before I click create, make sure your render viewport is set to the camera view, which is the camera view here, and then hit the create button. So now it will go through a process of rendering all the frame from 0 until 80. Okay, so it's still rendering. Okay, we near finish. It's gonna end here, and it's gonna end anytime soon. It's rendering a bit slower because the quality I set to 100. Alright, so you can see there you go, that's your animation. Alright, so if I open the folder, see here in my music, so this is the final video. It's about 7 megabyte. Can even play it with a VLC. You see it plays more nicer here as opposed to using the other things like the media player. See, it's a bit like stop motion suddenly. So best is to use the VLC media player. You can download them for free. It will show you the real speed. Alright, So that is all for this video. All right, so I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.